A very good evening to all. We are going to discuss some important topics on the day, which is the World Sight Day. And in association with Santen Company, we have made this endeavor possible to create awareness regarding every basic disease for the eye, and which is most commonly related to diabetes, cataract, like that. So, beginning with the topic, first of all, it is what is the importance of vision. So eye is an important sensory organ, and they are like the windows to soul. It is an window to the world. With vision, we connect with others, and with vision, we feel happiness. So also in regarding memories, 80% of our memories are based on the So, what is World Sight Day? So, beginning with World Sight Day, it is an annual global event which draws attention on blindness and visual impairment. And what is the objective? As you can see, it is to create the awareness regarding basic conditions which lead to diminution of vision. So, we are focusing on those conditions. So, everyone must know that globally there are 2.2 billion people which have unaddressed impairment and causing them blindness, and 1 billion people are there in which the blindness could have been avoided and can be cured too. So considering this, you can easily say 50% of the people are those which are curable for the blindness, and 1.1 million people in India alone are cornea blind. So they can be cured if people donate a generous amount of corneas and transplant. So if 1 million people are cornea blind and we are just doing roughly around 25,000 corneal transplant, you can well imagine how much we are lagging behind. So as public, you should always donate your corneas. It's in any case, it's not going to be of any use post death. So this is the basic schematic diagram how the site, how is eye important regarding vision. So actual images taken, perceived by the eye, sent to the brain, and brain is creating the final image. So we need to protect our eyes basically because they are the organs which are going to send the image to the brain. So I think basic eye anatomy we don't need for general public that much in detail. But if you basically see, this is the lens which is going to transmit the light rays on the retina, and this retina will take and transmit all the perceived images to our brain. So common eye problems that could affect the children or older people. They can be refractive errors like astigmatism, myopia, hyperopia, dry eye, digital eye strain, allergic conjunctivitis, color blindness, and night blindness. As you can see, myopia patient is not able to see the distant objects clearly. In hyperopia, he is unable to see the near objects clearly, and it's like driving will be very difficult. You will be unable to see the speedometers. That is what is being shown here. And in the color blindness, you can see it very clearly over here. Patient is unable to perceive the different colors. So there are many common eye problems in children which should be addressed in very young ages, and these include lazy eye, strabismus, and ptosis. Out of this, the lazy eye is very important to be prevented at a very young age, because if we continue it till the development is complete, the child will not be able to get his vision back after a certain age. So it is best to visit your ophthalmologist as soon as possible, or in general checkup also in young ages. One should visit the ophthalmologist, and then he can detect and diagnose a lazy eye, and we can start its treatment as early as possible for best results. Old people are mostly affected by presbyopia. There is nothing to be scared of presbyopia. Most commonly, it will be like a universal rule. Everyone after 45 to 50 years of age is going to have a near vision glasses. So that is presbyopia. It is due to muscular weakness. In layman terms, it's because of muscular weakness. And cataract, this is like normal due to aging. There is changes in fibers, lens fibers, it to about 70 years, at about 60 to 70 years of age, open angle glaucomas are quite common. One must definitely visit an ophthalmologist to get diagnosed at an early stage and start a treatment if needed. So at around 60, definitely one should go for glaucoma checkup. Then is the age-related macular degeneration and diabetic retinopathy. So in diabetic retinopathy, apart from diabetes, there are many factors like how long the diabetes is there, what is the control for diabetes. These are the two most important factors that one should take care. So every 5 years post diabetic, whether you are having any eye problem or not, one should visit an ophthalmologist to start an early management in diabetic retinopathy. So starting with myopia, this is a basic thing which young children will start complaining of headache or unable to see the blackboard clearly. That is myopia. So in myopia, the nearsightedness, we can simply say that person is able to see the nearby objects but unable to see the blackboard clearly or distant objects clearly. So mostly, as I told before, symptom will include headache, but treatment we can give contact lenses or spectacles. So here comes our extra thing that if your child is over 18 years of age, we can always go in for a laser surgery if the child is fit. So definitely that will remove the usage of glasses, and it is a safe surgery as of now. And at our hospital, we are having one of the best laser techniques, that is Contura vision. Hyperopia, that is farsightedness. Here the person will be able to see distant objects clearly, but near little bit near diminution will be there as compared to far. And sometimes hyperopia is usually confused with presbyopia. In hyperopia, no doubt person will have a diminution of near vision also, but he'll also have a diminution of distant vision also. But the near vision will be more diminished as compared to distant vision. In presbyopia, the vision which is diminished is mostly the near vision. Far off distant vision is usually normal. So as I explained the symptoms, there will be trouble in near vision, and same treatment goes on for hyperopia. And this is what most people are confused, that when we tell them that near vision glasses cannot be removed with hyperopia, that does not mean that near vision glasses cannot be removed, does not mean that hyperopia cannot be treated. Near vision glasses cannot be removed with LASIK means that presbyopia cannot be treated. We'll come on to presbyopia and then we'll discuss further. Then is the amblyopia. I must say this is like sight taker for a small sight. Be very careful that your child is not having any amblyopia, because if there is a difference between the refractive power of two eyes, so always the child will start using the eye which sees better, and the eye which is not being used very properly will slowly start diminishing or losing its vision. So one must always go for as early as possible for the diagnosis of amblyopia and start a patching therapy, which is being shown here. In this, we patch the normal child is forcibly made to use his abnormal eye. And if by growing ages it is treated like that, one will definitely get a very good visual outcome when the child goes young. Then comes the astigmatism. It is myopia and hypermetropia, but the difference is that the refractive error is usually at an axis. So this will be treated by special kind of spectacles, which will provide the refractive correction at that axis only. And one must make sure that the LASIK can also be done in case of astigmatism. So no doubts regarding that. Then is the strabismus. So most commonly known as crossed eyes or squint. It will be usually in younger age group population. So one eye looks straight and the other eye looks in any other direction. That means it's not corresponding to the other eye. So in this, you must make sure that surgery is not commonly required. Uh, I must say that one should always first try clearing the vision can be done in this. The on-seeing eye is made to see and proper refractive correction is done. Maximum cases can get improved, but which are not improving will be dealt with surgeries later on. Then is the ptosis, that is the drooping of the eyelid. It's not just the children which are affected by this condition. Adults can also be having ptosis, that is, adults can also have ptosis or the droopy eye. So, in adults, it will be most commonly seen along with the myasthenia gravis like conditions. So, mostly it will be hereditary, and child is usually born with ptosis. In this condition, most likely the child will require a surgery. It cannot be treated medically, and it will not definitely get better with time. And one thing that needs to be very uh, that needs to be considered, it's very important, is one must see that this ptosis should not be covering the pupil of the eye. If the ptosis, the lid is covering the pupil of the eye, that child will not be able to see from that eye, and again this eye will become a lazy eye, and if not corrected on time, the child will become blind with this eye. So always timely management of ptosis is also very important. One must be careful. Then comes the corneal ulcer. So corneal ulcer is like the most common thing which is seen in the farmers or working individuals. Most common cause is usually the injury, which can be in any kind of work. In farmers, it will be due to leaf or some branches of tree, which we see, and other workers mostly which are I must say, iron particles while welding or some other work related to iron. So they'll be getting injured with that, and then it leads to this condition known as corneal ulcer. Very painful condition. One must be make sure that not to land up in such scenarios. So symptoms will be a redness. Patient will feel like something is there in the eye, like a foreign body sensation will be there. Then there can be a pus or discharge from the eye, and a white spot will be seen. That is most from thickness arising function common. So treatment most I must say that the best treatment for this is that patient can get with the medications. If not treated by medication, ulcer is deep, not responding to any treatment, or it is involving a very large area, I must say, then we go ahead for the surgery. So surgery, we do the corneal transplant, which will be done at a transplant center, and then the patient will have a good vision later on. Conjunctivitis most commonly seen in the, you can say, rainy season or around the change of season, when patients rub their eyes, and when patients are rubbing their eyes and touch any object, and other person touches the same object, then it can get transmitted. So it is the inflammation or infection of the transparent membrane, that is the conjunctiva of the eye, and small vessels are inflamed and eye will appear pinkish like this. So it is irritating, but most commonly if you treat on time. But if it is uh, it is being caused due to some viral organism or viral etiology, or being ignored for a very long time, then it can also lead to diminution of vision, and it can cause scarring over the cornea. So one should be very careful. Contact lens wearers in this case should definitely stop using contact lenses, and it will be like you know aggravating the condition. It will provide a growing organism a home under the contact lens, and it will definitely affect your eye very badly. Then there are cataracts. Again, you can see clearly over here. This is the normal vision. This is the vision with cataract. Person will feel that as if cloud is there, or some blurred colored halos will be there in the vision. Patient will have problem in seeing at night. So mostly, I've also seen very much commonly that patients have problems seeing in daytime with sunlight when the pupil constricts. In case of central cataract, they will have diminution of vision. So one must definitely treat cataract on time, because if it is treated on time, it is going to give you a good result and a good vision. If it is ignored for a very long time, then it can lead to glaucoma, and which can lead to permanent diminution of vision. When to consider a cataract surgery? When the Definitely you should consider a cataract surgery when diminution of vision is significant, and it's of no use waiting for your cataract surgery after that point, because it will only lead to glaucoma and diminution of vision. And please make sure that no one takes any kind of from the cataract. Till date there is no medication that can cure a cataract. So I think what happens during cataract surgery, mostly I don't prefer telling the patients what happens during cataract surgery, because they get scared and again they'll delay their surgery. But if we can show this kind of image, I think patient will understand. Basically, uh, we'll be removing your white lens that has been opacified and replacing it with the IOL. I won't say any much more than that in case of surgery. Then comes the glaucoma. Glaucoma is a very serious disease, because one does not realize he is having glaucoma until and unless his vision comes out to be extreme glaucoma stage. In early glaucoma, when even ophthalmologist diagnoses a patient, yes, you are having glaucoma, patients say, no, no, we are not having any problem, and they start not they start not coping with the treatments, and they start leaving their treatment in between, and this leads to advanced glaucoma stage or complete blindness. And please make sure that once glaucoma has taken your sight, it won't be returned back. So that is why it is called silent thief of sight. It has no warning sign, and damage will be irreversible. And the diagnosis can be done in any hospital. If a person is a trained ophthalmologist, he can easily diagnose your glaucoma. And with this machine, which is being shown here, perimetry, one can know exact stage at which the glaucomatous condition is there. And if you continue with your perimetry reports, we can always tell you that whether it is progressing or it's stable. Depending upon that condition, we can either advise you medicine or rarely also. But if you are having glaucoma, please do not do that and use your medication regularly. Is the treatment that commonly can give laser therapy. Surgery can have filtering surgery or drainage tubes, or minimally invasive surgeries also are there. Then there is ARMD. This is most commonly the disease which used to be in US and other developed countries, now being seen in India also. So here this is like aging of the retina, and mostly there is no